This is the fastest way to unlock all 3 expert mode trophies in LEGO Fortnite. Now, something that I saw a lot of people talking about that wasn't true was that you couldn't place these down in your original world. Right now, I'm inside of my main base, my main survival world, and you guys can see that I can place down the trophy earned from expert mode inside of here. So this decoration can be placed in any of your worlds or any world that you are actually a part of and isn't exclusive to the expert mode world. Now, in order to get this started, you need to change your game mode over to expert, and what I did was made my seed number 7, although you guys will find out that your seed number doesn't matter when it comes to loading into this brand new expert mode. So in order to unlock the trophies, you need to kill a brute in each biome, and it needs to be a storm sick brute. So if it doesn't have that purple haze surrounding it, you are wasting your time fighting any of the brutes. They're extremely difficult as they have more health, they do more damage, and they move so much faster. So make sure that you guys watch throughout this entire video, as I'm going to give you the easiest tips and tricks in order to kill all 3 brutes, and then it just simply becomes a race to getting a level 10 village done in each biome. Now, I'm really focusing on upping the quality of my videos and everything like that, so I actually went ahead and AI generated a few clips of it looking as though I was dying and that this was hard to do, but the truth is that this is extremely easy, and following these tips will get this done very fast for you. Now, the first thing that you want to do when you load up in your new world is talk to Captain Bravara and get micro binoculars. This is going to allow you to find where the closest Star Wars cave is so that you can go to that area of the map. Once you've done that, talk to Triggerfish or me and make sure that you get your totem of return. These are extremely important because if you don't have a totem of return set up in your charms area when you die, that will permanently end your world. The totem of return is the only thing that's keeping this world alive, so you need to make sure that you always have this in your charms area and you're ready to make more when the time comes. Now, we're going to go to this Star Wars village area of the map because all 3 biomes are extremely close to each other. We know every single spawn location when it comes to these brutes so that we can help you get this done a little bit faster, and on top of that, early game having a lightsaber is extremely overpowered, and you guys will see why. So you want to make sure that you upgrade this village to level 5 to get yourself that lightsaber as early as you can. So get yourself to a level 5 village hub as quickly as you can in that rebel outpost, and then talk to Captain Bravara. What she's going to do is give you your first lightsaber, which is extremely important to get because, like I said, this weapon is overpowered early game when it comes to killing any of the creatures that are in your game. Now, shell crabs are extremely important to kill because they help you get your totems. One trick that you can use is if they touch water, they will instantly die, and having a shield is extremely valuable because if you hold this up when they charge into you, you will actually do double damage with any weapon that you have, making it extremely easy for you to kill all of these shell crabs and helping you build totems in the future. Now, on top of shell crabs, it's also important to find enemies that have storm sickness. They're easy to spot because they have that purple haze surrounding them. Inside of the Grasslands is by far the best way to find them because these are the weakest enemies in the game, not just when it comes to damage, but also their health, and their having low health is extremely important for you to get this done. So make sure that you find as many purple hazed small enemies as you can, skeletons, wolves, stormtroopers, or anything that should be a 1 or 2 hit, and kill them as quickly as you can. You want to stock up on as much materials as you can so you can continue to make totem of returns just in case you ever die. And another thing that's extremely important to note is that when you put your charms on, you no longer get armor with them, you only get hearts. And that's something that a lot of us are not used to. So when you take damage from an enemy, you really take damage from an enemy, and it makes it a very hard game mode to progress in. So what I recommend doing is making as much meat as you possibly can to give yourself those 2 bonus additional hearts, and also try to make sure that you're using the charms that give you the most hearts at all times. Now, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you have a totem of return equipped. So I'm going to make sure that I have one put into my charm section. On top of that, something that's very important is that you want to stack as many weapons and grilled meat as you can. Like I mentioned, the grilled meat does give you 2 additional bonus health points, and you also need these weapons to shoot at the brute long distance. Trying to fight it along with a lightsaber is very difficult to do, especially now that they're stronger, faster, and have more health. So the best thing that I recommend doing is using one of the Star Wars weapons that you can find inside of all of the Star Wars caves. So the first one that you're going to be able to find is going to be at the entrance of the original Star Wars cave that you came through. This is a pretty common spawn location for them, so make sure that you keep that in mind when you're coming in and out of this cave, as they should be roaming around here pretty often. What I recommend doing is shooting at him so that he comes around the NPCs, just so you can get some additional damage done to him, not even by yourself. Now you do need to use your dodge key as many times as you can to make sure that any of those projectiles that he throws at you do not hit you. But when you get on top of this cave, it makes it very difficult for him because he's going to waste a lot of his ground attacks on the cave, and it actually won't do any damage to you. The only thing that you have to worry about is those projectiles. As long as you dodge them out of the way, you should be able to get away from nearly every single one of them, and then from there it is extremely easy to finish him off just using the Star Wars weapons and getting help from the NPCs. Now your second brute, or your Dry Valley brute, is going to be able to be found just east of your rebel base. So if you just continue to head east, you'll find a rock that looks very similar to the one that I'm on, and that's where you'll find him. I'm going to run the exact same inventory that I did against the Grasslands one. You don't have to do anything too crazy after that. Just once again, use your weapons and your guns in order to kill this brute. You can get him stuck once again, just like that Grasslands player, where you could have him on the side of a hill and just continue to shoot down on him. The beautiful thing about this area of the map, and this brute in particular, if you can get him lined up exactly how I do here, it doesn't matter. Even if he does his air attacks, they still won't reach the top of this hill. You can actually get him to shoot it underneath the ledge, which does absolutely no damage to you. Now I made the mistake of not bringing enough weapons with me, so I had to go down there and fight him. You can dodge some of these swing attacks, but you may mess up on a few of them. Simply finish him off with a lightsaber if you didn't bring enough weapons, but I recommend bringing a ton of Star Wars guns, that way that you can finish him off as well. Now the Frostlands brute is going to be much harder, so what I want to do is know the materials to make the recurved bow, and then give myself some better equipment. So I need a grapple, and I need to be able to make the blue totem of return. So at this point during my stream, I really just did a lot of farming. I needed to get inner fire charm so that I wasn't too cold when I was inside of this area. I also needed the blue totem of return for an extra health point, and I also needed a recurved bow, as well as making myself an essence table so I can give it 3 times damage and do 40 headshot damage to this brute. Truly, that is the only way that you're going to get this done, because unfortunately the Star Wars weapons are going to go ahead and break before you actually finish him off. So again, it's a lot of grinding, but this is the inventory that I believe that you need in order to finish off the Frostlands brute. I have a grapple, I have thermal detonators, I have a bunch of guns, a ton of arrows, 38 raw meat or 36 raw meat, and then I have a 3 times damage essence blue recurved bow. That is going to do 40 damage headshot to the Frostlands brute, which is going to make this so much easier, not just for you guys, but also for myself. Now the Frostlands brute is located directly north of your rebel base, so as long as you run north, you'll see that he kind of spawns in this little divot that's in between the Grasslands and then also the snow biome. Keep in mind, when you go to the top of the snow biome area, it is very possible that you run into some stormtroopers, so make sure that that area of the map is actually clear before you start to shoot down at them. One thing to keep in mind is that these things are more powerful, and they also have more health. You could also see that they move a lot faster, so if you have him in this little area of limbo where he's running left and right, you're going to have to readjust him and make sure that he's in a place where he's going to stand still. Now what I learned is that all of these brutes have some sort of range as to how far away they can move from their original spot. So when it comes to the Frostlands brute, you can actually get him stuck if you walk far enough away where he will stand still and just kind of allow you to spam headshots on him. So get high ground on him and then aim your cursor with a little bit of arc, that way that you're able to land all of your headshots and do 38 damage on him. That's going to to go ahead and complete the brute part of this, which once again is extremely easy, and you're going to be able to finish him without taking any damage whatsoever, and you might not have to use any of the additional weapons that you brought with you, as that recurved bow, if you can get him stuck, is going to work like a charm. Now the final thing that you're going to need to do is get a level 10 village inside of your Grasslands, Dry Valley, and Frostlands biome, but don't worry, I have you guys covered. Screenshot this image right here, and this is going to give you all of the ingredients that you need for each and every biome, and just overall make this extremely easy for you. The good news is that you no longer have to fight anything, so you guys can just go ahead and explore and grab all of these materials, and that way you can get this done extremely quick. The hard part is officially over. The brutes are definitely the longest thing to prepare for and to fight against, so now let's just get our villages up to level 10. Now, an awesome trick that you can do to get these up to level 10 is to just carry a bunch of wood and granite with you, and if you just place down a bunch of grills and lumber mills, that'll count towards your building aspect and get this from level 1 all the way up to level 10 as long as you have other ingredients. That will go ahead and unlock every single trophy that you need in order to finish this entire game. Expert mode is actually a ton of fun after grinding it yesterday, and getting these trophies is going to be the biggest flex that you can have in LEGO Fortnite right now. So I hope that this video helps every single one of you guys in getting all 3 of these. So don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, this was Crafty, and I'm out. Peace.